Good evening. COVID pandemic 19 has receded to the background. The problem with regard to Title Deed 1027 pertaining to the properties in the village of Velli Thirumattam, to be specific, between Kollidam River on the north and Thirumanjana Kaveri on the south, is under scanner. Even after the Enam Abolition Act, the temple raised an issue with regard to the title. From 1970, there was a problem raised by the temple that they are the owners of the property. In 2004, the temple gave an objection to the sub-register, stating that no property in covering the title deed 1027 shall be registered. From 2004 to 2008, innocent purchasers get themselves involved, got the property registered, albeit pending registration. Suddenly from 2008 to 2010, suits have been filed as a sample to test by the temple. In 2008, the residents of Srirangam organized a meeting at Sri Hari Mahal, West Uttara Street, wherein the entire issue was deliberated by some of the senior councils who are not among us as of today. And one of them is they have advised that we should not go in for registration, as pending registration has got its own limitation and risks. Two, we should start a fight on three fronts, namely political, social and legal. Insofar as the first issue with regard to the registration is concerned, notwithstanding such an advice, many of the owners were forced to sell the property, as they were not able to mortgage the property to fund their education of their children or their marriages. The pending registration were carried on, and now we are at a point that the documents which have been pending for more than 10 years have been returned, directing the parties to take back the documents. Such a order of returning the documents have got its great repercussions, namely the stamp affixed by the purchasers running into several racks in each of the transaction, apart from the money which they have paid miscellaneously to get the document registered, have all been under a great risk. The people would lose the stamp duty as well as the money which they have paid. Obviously, they have been lured to enter into such a transaction, notwithstanding the fact that the legal advice was given. The people were impatient, and we can't find fault with them, as such an situation cannot linger on forever. Therefore, the registration, with its limitation, now the people are at the receiving end, at the risk of losing the property, at the risk of losing the stamp duty as well as the money which they have paid to get it as a pending registration. Needless, there is no concept as a pending registration, and notwithstanding the same, the people have been lured to register the document, albeit a pending registration, which was not authorized by law, carried on by the registering authority for more than a decade. Now the common man is at a great loss, the mental agony and anguish apart. Now coming to the first of the fight, the political fight, it did not gain traction, even though initial period political parties of all colors and shades promised to settle the issue, and one of them has also initiated but there was an internal sabotage from the HRNC which failed to gauge the real issue involved. The fairness was not there in interpreting the title deed 1027, and the present day Hindutva forces also made the politician jittery. They are in no position to take up the matter any longer. The Srirangam people tried their best to focus by going for a hunger strike or organizing a meeting and meeting all the politicians as well as the bureaucrats. We could not succeed in that. Therefore, the political fight had its own death. Now, coming to the social fight, the social fight is in respect of keeping the aesthetic of this beautiful town, which could not happen because the properties were sold by the people who could not mortgage them to avail of a loan. It was a field day for the land sharks who took the properties, demolished the existing structure, put up multi-story buildings, and there were several service apartments and lodges in the name of the service apartment, lodges and even a Kalyan Mandapam of recent days. And it has all been done to the knowledge of one and all, and the temple authorities can be of no exception. But the point at issue is the 40 or 45 cases which have been filed before the court are only a sample. However, those people who can't afford to fight them outside a court of law are now being dragged to the court and they are fighting it. And those who can afford to square off the issue, they have done it smoothly without any problem. And ironically, the city has been ravaged, the town has been ravaged. Is it with the connivance or with the consent of the authorities? Are they the abettors in spoiling the aesthetic of this town? I leave it the larger issue. But the point is, the people with the black money can afford to purchase the property, albeit without a registration, and then put up a multi-story building, make money out of it. It can all happen if somebody has got an unaccounted money, and this has happened in many a case when commercial properties have come up in the last decade. Therefore, even on a social front, we have failed miserably. Third, the matter is before the court. Some 40-45 houses have been under the scanner, but the result will have a repercussion on 30 to 40,000 people who will be affected, because the judgment will have a direct impact on them also. The case was lingering on for some time. At the fag end of 2018, the arguments were commenced, and subsequently by March 2019, the arguments were over. But the judge, the learned judge, first additional district judge, could not pronounce the judgment as he was transferred. It was touted as one of the lengthiest argument ever made before the district courts in Trichy, and probably any court for that matter. But the issue is not to get any Guinness record for that, but the issue is the seriousness with which this dispute is being fought on a legal plane. It is a matter of fact that it all involves a Enam Abolition Act and the after effects. The title deed 1027 speaks clearly about the government revenue alone and not the property. Enam Fire Register, which has been banked upon by the temple, was filed in the earlier proceedings in a truncated manner, However, in the suit before the court pending now, the full copy has been filed, and we found that from the inner sanctorum of Sri Lord Ranganatha Swami up to the fourth wall, it has been classed as Temple Porambok. From the fourth to seventh wall, it has been classed as Government Site Porambok. Obviously, these observations in the Inam Fair Register were not filed before the court in the earlier proceedings, and therefore these findings of the Inam Commissioner coupled with the title deed would go to show that the temple may not have a right over the property except the government revenue, and for which they are receiving the district allowance even today. In fact, when some of the properties were acquired for the railway track somewhere in 1920 and for building a drainage canal, namely 6 feet lane, Conservancy Lane, the temple received only the Berry's allowance and the property owners got the compensation. Under those circumstances, what has been given is to the temple is only a government revenue, and this government revenue is even today being paid by the government by way of a district allowance after the abolition of the act. This is all known to the government, but the government is not willing to solve the issue. At the height of it, it will all be referred that the matter is pending before the court. The Abolition Act came in the year 1963. The very same politicians of those years had got the guts and statesmanship to enact a law to abolish the intermediaries, whereas today's politicians doesn't have that kind of literacy to see through that notwithstanding the cases pending before the court, it is possible to solve the issue, which has not been done. The matter is again being heard, and for the past 2 weeks, on 2 occasions, the advocate for the temple argued the matter in length and in detail and with passion. However, to our shock, we found that the people of this town didn't relish the fact that the matter is so important to them, and they didn't even participate. None of the lawyers engaged by them, which is more than a dozen, didn't appear at all. The fault is not on the lawyer, but on the people who have engaged them. After engaging the lawyer, we didn't follow it up. Unless and until we go and brief the lawyer and support him, the question of fighting this huge battle will lose its momentum and steam. The matter is likely to be taken up in the month of August as well, and it will continue to go on for some more time. And unless and until you people come forward to support the cause, I am afraid that the legal battle may go the way of a political battle and social battle. I request everybody to cooperate and extend your support. I pray that at least the legal battle will be in our favor. Thank you.